Hi everybody, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm going to be using two relatively new products. So this is the Funky Fossils design and this is called Find Your Rainbow. So this is a big stamp set again like they have been. We've got lots of different stamps in here to create some rainbows. We've got clouds, we've got raindrops as well, but what I really love about these is they've all got kind of different patterns and things in them, and I think it's just such a fun design. So looking at the front, you've got kind of crisscross, you've got sort of pieces coming out of it, you've got lines, you've got squiggly lines, and I really love the sentiments in here and the font as well. I'm here for you, rain or shine, happy days, find your rainbow, you are my sunshine. So I really love this set when I picked it out, and I've been wanting to use it for a little while now. And I thought I would use some of the tags. So these are the supersized Nestables tag die set. So pick these up from Craft Stash. Again, I'll leave some links in the description box down below. So these are some crazy size tags. But I thought maybe it'd be kind of cool to use these and create a few different tags, a few different kind of weather inspired tags here, and whether they do put them onto cards or maybe just use them as tags, I'm not really sure yet, but I thought it would be fun to kind of actually create the tags. So the size that I think I'm going to use, I want something that will fit on a card if I decide to do so. But I wanted sort of enough space maybe to create kind of those rainbows and things. So they might just be kind of partial rainbows, but I think this would kind of be a good size. If I just grab a A2 size card, that would kind of fit quite nicely on there. You know, a little bit on the kind of big side, but again, if that's going to be your kind of main focus for your card, I think that's going to be perfect. So this is the size tag that I'm going to be using, and like I said, we're going to create a couple just using these, and these are going to be solid stamps as well, so we're going to get lots of colour on here. So I've cut up some 300 GSN Inkme cardstock, and I'm actually going to pass this through my Gemini Mini. So you can see already just sort of by my plates, they are warped. I just kind of turn it around and do it lots of different ways, but this has really been a fantastic tool because this tag will just fit through this machine. It means that I don't have to pass this through kind of 5 times through my big Gemini, and it's just going to take so much longer. So having a smaller machine really has sort of made all the difference already. So I'm just going to hold it down with a little bit of tape because it is kind of sort of just the right size. Let's fold that over and we're just going to pass this through. So I've literally had no trouble using this at all. It's perfect. It just sits on my desk and I just absolutely love it. And you can see just how perfectly that has die cut. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So I need to pass this through again to die cut that tag hole. So I'm going to do the others at the same time because obviously I don't want to kind of pass this through sort of too much and get any kind of impressions actually on the tag itself. But because I only want to do that top bit, I can literally just put that bit through and wind it back out again. I don't have to put it all the way through the machine, which I do love. And there is our tag. So easy to create again then with this Gemini Mini or any just sort of mini die cutter machine. It just works so perfectly. So this time what I'm going to do is just kind of line up the tag where I want it to be. Try and get that nice in the center. And then I'm just going to hold that piece down first. And then I'm going to hold it down with the tag. And again then I'm just going to run this through. And there we have our next tag. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut the rest of these and then we can get started creating today's tags. So there we've got our 5 tags and it really didn't take me very long at all. There's basically no impressions from the plates or anything, and you kind of, you know, seen how sort of worn these sort of are already, but there was no kind of impressions on this, which sometimes I do get using my big machine. But honestly, I couldn't rave about this Gemini Mini die cutter machine anymore, to be honest with you. Again, if you're looking for something, yes, the plates are a bit of a nuisance. I don't know with other mini machines, really, if they're any better than these. I think you can get a pack of 3 of these for about £5, which I don't think is bad at all, but I've done quite a bit of die cutting with this recently, and you know, I'm still happy going with it. So this honestly has been sort of one of the best things that I bought recently, because it does just fit on my desk, and you know, you can just die cut stuff so easily. But now let's get into actually sort of creating our tags here. So I'm going to bring out my Misty because I want to try actually stamping some of our stamps here with some Distress Oxides. So I'm not sure how well they are going to stamp, but like I said, I really do want to give that a go. If not, then we can use just our regular kind of dye inks. So I'm going to line it up with one of the lines, and what I'm going to do is just add a little piece of washi tape in there as well, just to know in case it moves sort of which line I did line it up with. And I think that this first thing I want to stamp is going to be our rainbow. So again, we've got all the different kind of sizes in here. Let's just bring that down. So I'm going to have to just sort of bring this up a little bit, just so I can really kind of get that to go over the edge. Because I do want to try and get kind of that full rainbow as possible. So let's take a look. Is that the smallest? No, so we have a smaller rainbow as well. So this is kind of the second rainbow, but I just need to know kind of where I want to start. And like I said, I'm going to use some Distress Oxides with this first one, just to really see kind of how it looks. And we're going to go for some really classic colours here. So I've got a Squeezed Lemonade here. So we're going to go with a really beautiful kind of bright yellow. So let's stamp this. And again, then the perfect thing with using the Misty is we can restamp if we need to. So that was a good stamp, but I'm just going to try and kind of add a little more just there. So I'm loving how that's looking. I'm going to pull out my Lawn Fawn stamp chamois to clean this off. And then we're going to go down a size, and we're going to go into our sort of smaller rainbow size. I think this is maybe solid. It might have just some etch marks in it. And we're going to have a sort of pretty decent gap in between our sort of rainbow segments. So for that, I think I might go in with a green colour. So again, let's go in with some nice bright. So we get some Twisted Citron here. Also, this one does have sort of a bit of a pattern on this. Let's see how well this stamps. So some of them I find they don't stamp quite as well, but again, that is the beauty then of using the Misty. So I'm happy with that. Again, I'm not looking for anything sort of too perfect there. And it does look like I said, that it's got some sort of etch marks on that one. So let's pull that one off. Let's turn this back around. So I think we've got, our next one has got some sort of crisscross in here. So this one isn't going to quite reach the bottom, but we'll see how it stamps. So for this one, I'm going to come in with a red. So let's come in with some Crackling Campfire. Let's stamp this one. Oh, that's okay. So it hasn't quite reached the bottom, but that's not a problem. And so that's kind of a really nice, almost like an orangey red shade. And then we've got this last sort of just a thin line. But what we could do, just to make this just a little bit bigger, because we can, you know, kind of reshape that piece a little bit, is, you know, we've got this kind of plus sign here. So we're going to stamp this as kind of an extra little layer. So I've added it to an acrylic block. So let's come in now with a purple. So let's come in with some Wilted Violets. And I'm going to keep my tag in here where it is. And let's just add a little row of these. Again, it doesn't need to be stamped too perfectly. So there we have those. And I think for this one I'm going to take a little bit of prize ribbon. So then we've got sort of 2 little lines there. So it just creates something a little bit different. So there is our kind of rainbow. So let me just move the Misty. And what I think I want to do, we've got a little love heart in here. And I think I might just sort of stamp that just at the bottom. I'm going to take a darker red. So I'm going to take a little bit of a barn door. And then we're just going to stamp that just in the middle there, again sort of coming off the bottom of our tag. And these stamps, they stamp so well, and I absolutely love them. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do for our tag, I'm just going to pop it back into my Misty, is I want to add just a sentiment. So I'm going to have in here, find your rainbow, just at the top, and I'm going to stamp that actually in black. I want that to sort of stand out quite nicely. So we're just going to ink that up. So there's our first finished tag. So I really love how these are looking. I love kind of the graphics. I love that you don't have to stamp it perfectly because you have that kind of design and sort of texture in there. I love this font in the black. I think that works perfectly. And just imagine that with a lovely piece of ribbon at the top there. So I'm going to go ahead and make some of the others. So rather than this being sort of a super long video creating all of these tags in kind of real time, I might just speed it up a little bit just so you're not here forever. Because I do really want to kind of see how many tags and designs I can get from this stamp set. So there is my 5 tags using this Find Your Rainbow stamp set. I really love how these have come out. They have gotten just a tiny bit mucky just because I've got some mucky fingers from all of that ink. But yeah, I really love how these have come out. I think they make really fantastic tags. And of course then you could just use these with a happy birthday, you know, if you wanted the rainbows and things, if you were actually making tags, or again, you could genuinely just put these onto cards, and I think that would look really, really great. So So for this one here, I did use, and this one, sorry, I used my dye ink, so a combination of the Tim Holtz Distress inks and then my Prism inks as well. And then for these three, I did use then the Distress Oxides, and I think they worked really well. Some of them didn't kind of show up the sort of textured design as well with the oxide inks, but I mean, this one here, I really love how this one's come out, and if you've seen all of the blues, then I've got a lot of blue inks in the Distress Oxide range, and I just think that worked so nicely together because you've got the dark, you've got the kind of that salvage patina and the speckled egg in there as well, just added a little bit of variety, which I think really came out lovely. This one, just the last one I did, I just thought I would use a bunch of sort of different kinds of colours, not kind of follow that rainbow pattern, you know, because it can just be what you want it to be. So I think that came out nice, and I created a mask with those as well. So then the rainbow looked like it was behind those two clouds. So I just did that with some sort of fully sticky backed post-it notes. So that's going to be it for today's video. Again, I will pop some links in the description box down below to the stamp set mainly. But you can find links and things in that description box below the video. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that I upload. So that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting.